boundary dispute between Ibionibum and Ikono local government areas. Speaker of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly hosts former speakers, pledges robust relationship with Forum. Plus, Nigerians in Uyo kick against removal of electricity subsidy. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10. My name is Dianime Uko. Please be reminded that this broadcast is reaching you live on StarTimes channel 103 and on our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. The long-lasting land dispute between Ibiakuitudo in Ibionibom local government area and Edemiyere community in Ikono local government area has finally come to a peaceful end following the intervention of Akwa Ibom State government. Kelvin Samuel reports that the disputed land has been properly demarcated with roads and trees. The report.
For 70 years, the peace-loving people of Ibiakuitudo and Idemiyere in Ibiono and Ikono local government areas of Akwa Ibom State were in constant dispute over the actual boundary between both communities. This crisis denied the communities of brotherly love and needed development for so long. Then the Omoenos administration came on board with the determination to restore peace to all parts of the state and unite the people as one. Today, the people have embraced one another as they vow to sustain this peace.
As Africans, as Nigerians, we must begin to reflect on why natural resources has become a cost to us. All of Africa, people are killing themselves over land and other natural resources. But like you said there, these are resources we did not bring. These are resources we will not take away. We can only better the resources. And therefore, we must continue to reflect on this. And it also goes to show that we still have deeper responsibilities, even at the local government, to be able to passionate land into industrial areas, into commercial areas. When we passionate land adequately, we will begin to affect the land tenure systems in local government areas and in communities. And that we will make governance easier.
I'm so excited that the peace have come. Why am I so excited? It is in my time and the time of my colleague that this enduring peace has come.
Under the leadership of Pastor Mobaseno and the Borobudianamo, you have brought lasting peace to these two communities that represent the two local government areas, and that is the reason we are gathered here today.
Your Excellency, I'm into Ikono. One net to Ibiaku. They can make you good. I don't know, Mark over. Okay, then go over to Ogogo. Who can send the man? I will go for one word there. I will go again a few more. So, friend, women, Minda family who come PLT, who come the government of Akwa Ibom State, led by Pastor Mobaseno. I remember when the righteous is on the throne,
the Akwa Ibom State Deputy Governor Senator Akoni Yaginiwai, performing the ceremonial tree planting, expresses joy for the restoration of peace in the areas. She charges the people to continue to live in peace as state government focuses on how to improve the economy, reach out to the less privileged, and provide job opportunities for the teeming youths.
Today, we are here. Thank God, every people go, even though we are not of other people, I want my people help us. I'm asking. Then, the lasting peace has been instituted, has been established to the glory of God.
High point of the event was a symbolic planting of trees for proper demarcation of the disputed land. From Ibionibom local government area, Kelvin Samuel, NTA.
Away from that, let's head to the legislature where the Speaker of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly Udeme Otong has pledged to maintain a robust working relationship with the Forum of Former Speakers, Akwa Ibom State chapter, for the overall development of the state. Mr. Otong gave the assurance Ekanem in his office. He said the 8th Assembly under his leadership would continue to work in partnership with the Forum and former honorable members of the Assembly in order to bring sustainable development to the people. He says the success story of the 8th Assembly could be attributed to the knowledge gained from past administrations of the Assembly, which according to him had always inspired the current Assembly in doing much better. Earlier, the chairman of the Forum, Nse Ekanem, thanked the Speaker for the warm reception accorded them despite his busy schedules. He explained that the visit was to formally introduce the Forum to the Speaker and to further strengthen the ties with the 8th Assembly to enhance the growth and development of the state. While acknowledging the remarkable achievements of the 8th Assembly under Mr. Udeme Otong, Mr. Ekanem also commended the state governor, Pastor Omoeno, for having the interest of the people at heart and prayed God to grant the governor courage and wisdom to continue with the development of our giving the citizens access to legislative proceedings. Commercial activities in Ntiaditam community, Itu local government area, may not see the end of 2024 except drastic measures are taken by the federal government. This follows the collapse of the only access road to the area. Clement Barikui, who visited the community, reports that the once lifesaver is now a death trap.
Some motor that carry wood try to move out back. When they go there, they return back. Many accidents there for this road, too much. Both this in Chad and Aboditam.
So I want the Federal Ministry of Works and federal government to come and help us.
This is the general views among users of the Ntiaditam road. The sorry state of the road began more than 5 years ago when a nearby ravine started caving in, thereby cutting off both sides of the road. The self-help efforts of the community is no longer helping the dilapidated state of the road. According to the community members, this federal road is a no-go area during the rainy season.
Some goods that would have come through this way now come through the riverside. So what I intend to do is to send a request to the federal authority to come and help us walk this road.
The Ntiaditam road connects traders from different parts of Akwa Ibom State to the popular T-junction in the area, where one of the biggest markets in this part of the state is located. The road also provides access to the Mary Slessor Memorial Cane and links Akwa Ibom State with Cross River, Abia, and Ebonyi State, and it may not see the end of 2024 if urgent measures are not taken to stop the ravine encroachments. Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Electricity supply in Akwa Ibom State can only improve if the state government embraces the needed political will and commitment to key into existing legal framework provided by the federal government in the sector. Speaking in Uyo, the state's capital, some residents insist that the removal of subsidy on electricity is not the solution to the challenges bedeviling the power sector in the country. Clement Barikui has details.
Akwa Ibom State, being one of the oil-rich states in the country, boasts of abundant gas for power generation. Effort by the previous administrations in the state to utilize this abundant gas resource to boost electricity supply led to the establishment of the Ibom Power Plant that has been generating about 191 megawatts of electricity into the national grid. Yet, not much is on the ground in terms of steady power supply to residents of the state, a situation that is largely blamed on collapsed infrastructure and inadequate gas supply. Following the liberalization of the power sector through the Electricity Act 2023, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission approved the application of the state government for the Ibom Utility Company to operate as an independent electricity distribution network.
Generate, distribute. Will they, though the law is there, what about some of those bottlenecks? Would they be able to dismantle some of those things and then unbundle the system so the system can run on its own?
When there is competition, the companies will sit back and they will improve in their services.
Among residents of Uyo, the debate on high tariff and payment for what is not consumed continues.
The current tariff we are paying, I'm talking about the billing system we are paying in this country as a people, yet we do not even have that light to say, yes, we are paying for what we are consuming. Certainly not. And someone is still talking about removing subsidy, if there was.
If you remove the subsidy from the present in the logistics sector, that means Nigeria is back to the experience that we have in the petroleum sector, and it will be disastrous. Let us manage one first.
Please let the federal government not give heed to some of those advice. They are ill advice, just to destabilize the system. Let the system continue on. Let the government. There are some people that are paying as much as 40,000 naira a month.
Addressing frequent collapse of the national grid through quality infrastructure, metering and full liberalization, according to the respondents, are among the ways out of the present electricity challenges. Clement Barikui and
of the fuel. So when they reduce the high cost of fuel, everything will become normal.
Government should assist the farmers. They really need help. Like if there are much space, I know that most of these people are going to stealing, collect, or taking from others. They will be useful, as in they use the land to help themselves.
Planted water leaf and pumpkin and maize and cassava is around.
For some of these farmers, their concern is far from availability of farm produce and fertilizer, but bothers more on transportation and the sale of their harvest, which they say one must register and become a member of a union in the market to have the permission to sell. Hence, they appeal to relevant authorities for urgent intervention.
You can take your goods to the market, but you will be hindered. You will not be allowed to sell because you don't belong to any union. And that hinders yourselves.
I need government to help us to cancel all the unions in the market, all the unions in state, so that anybody that plants in the farm can carry the crops and the food, go to market and sell without union.
All the water leaf, you no see customer because of union. We no carry and go market. So money no dey.
The farmers believe that with government's empowerment, food security is possible in Uyo. Utube Achibong, NTA News.
Moving on to other stories. More income and livelihood are being lost yearly, while flooding may increase due to impact of human activities on wetlands. Those were the predictions of agricultural experts as the global community marks Wetlands Day. Clement Barikui has the details.
Wetlands contribute significantly to global food production, as exemplified by wetland-grown rice, a staple for 3 billion people. Experts observed that wetlands act as natural shock absorbers, mitigating rainfall impact and reducing flood and storm surge risk. The topography of Akwa Ibom State makes it a wetland area, but overexploitation, human population explosion, land reclamation, bush burning and waste disposal are the major threat to wetlands.
In Akwa Ibom State, every local government has wetlands. As was already described to you, that where you have water bodies, okay, a place, an ecosystem that is saturated with water for a longer period of time, and in some cases, and they are natural, some are artificial, but in Akwa Ibom we have all of them that are natural, saturated with water all year round.
We have the human population explosion. This is serious. As the population is growing, people are looking for food, people are looking for livelihood, people are looking for income. Because of that, whatever they find in the wetlands, they tend to harvest. They tend to take out as a source of livelihood for them.
With the theme Wetlands and Human Well-being, the 2024 World Wetlands Day emphasizes the crucial role of wetlands in human prosperity and a healthy planet.
The ecological services that wetlands avail us, we have the biodiversity. It is very great. The diversity is so high. Different types of plants, different types of animals are there. Some of them are of food value.
There are some species of both plants and animals you can never find anywhere else except in the wetlands of Akwa Ibom State or the southern part of Nigeria. So what happens to it if the ecosystem or the wetland ecosystem is deforested?
Experts are therefore suggesting use of wetlands with an understanding that healthy wetlands are critical to securing a resilient, nature-positive and climate-neutral world. In Oyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
And that's the news. But before we go, a review of top stories. Akwa Ibom State government has resolved 70-year-old boundary dispute between Ibionibom and Ikono local government areas. Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has played host to former speakers and pledged robust relationship with them. You also heard in the news that Nigerians in Uyo are kicking against the removal of electricity subsidy. Thanks for watching. Do have the best of the new month. My name is Dianime Uko. Up next is the news in Ibibio. Good morning.
Ukara stadium SNMMK ufon bon etogo nko ukara ibiono ye ikono. Adai wot ke ufon bet stadium ani nime yemme akan mbon ufon bet state enyonge ngongo adina mutom ye ammo. Mbono wo tangebo ya ukara ikitre unwam esekenam ya akwekang amana sugurwa. Ukangen mikoma yung medo emedion mo kamandu tumbok bausanem. Ukara stere SNMM ke ufon bon etogo nko ukara ibiono yikono ebo yakammo ekrebo ke mememi asongora manatoru foro yenkot atwakara ko ken kokarado. Madam yagedion kente umiangi swakerem ko mbon etogo ibiako itu udo ye edem ejire kenko ukara ibiono ye ikono ema eni mfuna adang isong ntagami ama nam ima ikiba ketu mo ndien uforo yenkot iroko nkan korommo kerikan mboke uforo yenkoro rogobio ukara stadium esenemem ketu mbone togo ibiaku itiudo ye edemegire ke adineke adang isong mo na ke togo eto adineke adang isong do udiana kamukara stadium ma akone yaganyi ama no mo item abo yagammo ebono kemem manatoro kikere ukara eniere ebanga uforo yenkor adok mensionsio nkokukara kesterem akronin akpan kwakena makedina maro akedo adito eto manatoro enenge adang songodo ano mbon etogo obiodo mi ke nkokukara ibiono mbono wetang One anante ukara ena manatoro ikan electric abase mbrowo ekamena mpoino iri memo ya ikubo ya kombo mito kombo mboka nam ya iri ngo kestere medo ketu state kirenyen eniere adani song ndien kekeme arikama adani songomi nam ikan electric abam fon kirenyen pasoro na ukara esnifak arikan boke ikan electric eba kerinie ibom power plants ado mfuna asogo baba kefang ikang electric manasa akekem ye mbed ikang electric akiswa 2023 ekamba ufo ikang electric ke irenyen ebo ya ufo utomekoto ibom utility company eda kide memmo manatoro ekan enamutumo mo mfon ado mbono wo esokese seme ebanga nangikang electric mi baga paswado na mimo ikpe akokikang ndien ado idoronyen mbono wo ke ukara MSM kwa ibanga afang ikang electric ke ikanga yagaba mfon mi kuyo metoy wang eseme ebanga nangkwe wang aksongwa ebo ya ukara asurwa nkwe wang yagado semimo ikan idip teko yo mbo mito
akene na wemedi song idaga min koro gedanga udwam po adido kwa usen bonida nyine soge dianu yebo kedo se frewo e kaniso ese uto enwang se akini ntomi membungom enwang anike nwam atatiti amienam danga me kombo ke sanga ke kumbusong e market ke ataw waga wo edongo ki nwang ko utompo amatongo meto wanga mi soge boke ini mimo so ki bet yagere meneke de momo kedo se e bage tompo se e me bage tompo ese bage dok nko ndidia amanaba lusong meto wanga minku eboke sido mbubege mimo ine ke kido danga mbungo miwang akpeba ya mimo to me fertilizer ado sine kido mfana ado upusong danga mimo ibiben mkpodwa mi ikiwodwa nko emaike wodwa mi mensonso ikpere eboke na ntewo adisene nyonke union mbimiso amoeni unen erinyam memkpodwa mi eboke mi ana mugwe mesoko kaka iso song se afomani mkpo sefu ato adok ukatiti ese nyam ubaga bene ka odwa ntroro awi yakanyam sia odoko union ammo so gesene bingi ino ukara ke fre fandaga ebo mbok yagado sekpese mkpo banga kpan ke mkpo union etangami bagari nwam mimo ikaniro imaito inwang inie si boko ikinyam ari ronyen meto enwang ami ke ukara eya kanna nyini se meto enwang nko edieke mkponte gere to ukara remedi ke yari wo meto enwang ami kente mo ikpe baba miku yo utbe achibong akombok entie
ukangyen tembong nyin atrero uba usenemi tutundubi etieson